Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting through actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Our guest today is very special. He's a producer, he's an actor, he's a musician, he's a director, and hey, he's got a whole lot of love for the late, great comedian and actor, Mr. Richard Pryor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Victor Orlando. Thank you, Victor. Thank you for coming here today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Here.
Again, we just want to thank you for coming to the last minute. This guy was hard. Something came up, and he was gracious enough to come and join us today. We thank you very, very much for that.
No problem.
Let's get right to it. Tell us where you came from.
I'm born and raised in Oak Cliff, Dallas, Texas.
Oak Cliff.
Oak Cliff. So
You know where Mesquite is at?
Oh, yeah. I know where Mesquite, I know where all the little small areas in Dallas.
I got a daughter that lives in Mesquite.
Oh, wow.
And every time I go down that part of the country, there's good food, good partying,
Yeah.
good.
Just all good people.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Being from Texas, a lot of great music, all the good folks. How much of an influence did that have on you growing up?
I loved it. I thank God I didn't have to deal with the racial overtone of it as much, because it was 50s and 60s, but it was there. God protected me from it. I didn't deal with it. I didn't run into any of it, like what's happening now with different kids and stuff. Didn't have to run into it. Just went about my business and came home and, vertical every day.
Mm-hmm. Because you're a Scorpio, ain't nobody gonna mess with you.
Ain't nobody gonna mess with you. I was stinging with a smile.
November 9th is your birthday?
November 9th.
We'll leave the year out. We'll leave the year out. Was it acting or was it being a musician that gave you your first break?
Well, actually, acting was closer to first than music, but they both were neck and neck. I was in the drama club in my high school, Franklin D. Roosevelt,
All right.
71, 72. But I was in the band also. So the marching band. Back there we had real bands that marched on Friday night after the game. So I did both acting and music.
So when it bit you, the acting bug, how did you welcome it?
I took it because it was fun. It was I got to be crazy and enjoy it and get laughs from it. Like most comedians and actors, if they get laughs and stuff, that's your fuel. So like you make one person laugh, oh, I can do that, and then you get a bunch of them. Then, but really, one of my great roles, or good roles, was I played Ebenezer Scrooge in The Christmas Carol.
Oh, describe that, please.
It was the I guess the senior play of going out, and the dude that had it, the kid that had it, messed up with the teacher, and she dumped the script in my lap. So I learned 85% of that script of the whole movie. So you say, where's the other 15%? So as the end of the movie, when Scrooge found out that he hadn't missed Christmas, I'm running around on stage going from one curtain to the other curtain to the sideline. Give me a line, what's my line? And then I turn back and say it, and then I go to the next side and get the next line. Because I didn't have that much time to learn the entire script. But it was amazing. But I did good stuff. I did Pearly Victorious, 5 on the Black Hand Side.
All right.
I was one of the only black kids in a citywide drama search for the citywide plays that they put on. And 500 Bills of Cotton. I played something Vaccaro, Silver Vaccaro. That was my first taste of Tennessee Williams stuff.
I see.
So, and that was cool. I mean, that was dramatic. That was cool. There was no funny stuff in that one. But it was, yeah, that was really cool.
I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the support you got from your family and friends back in the day that brought you to where you're at now.
Wow. As you say that, I will say absolutely none.
Really?
None. I grew up in a family structure. You worked. End of story. So I come along, well, this is work, but it's not the kind you want me to do, but I got to do this. So that was none. My aunt bought me my first set of drums. my aunt took one of my other aunts took me to this acting thing that I got the one piece thing. Festival of Plays is what it was.
Okay.
And I got that. An aunt took me to that. My parents, and they just wasn't there. And then that's why I left Dallas and came here, because I was the first entertainer in that whole entire family system.
Right. As I hear you speak, I have visions of young black men and young black women in the ghetto and all around this country. And they get an opportunity to go to a festival of plays, like you said you went to, and they're exposed to this for the first time. They're seeing this. Look at those people up on the stage, costumed, saying words to each other. People are clapping their hands. That's where the joy begins at.
Yeah, yeah. And I got that same thing even earlier. I guess music would have been earlier, from Catholic school. The nuns would take us on field trips to the Dallas Symphony Orchestra. So you 7, 8, 9, whatever, and listening to, Flight of the Bumblebee or something by Chopin or Beethoven, and I'm sitting there and like, it went in and stayed. Just the excitement of that music. So I love a good symphony any day. I can sit up and listen to classic as quick as I can sit up and listen to cool
Same
Moby.
here. Love me some classical music.
Yeah, I had it on speed dial on the station one time. My son's like, Papa, can we go back to Radio Disney or something?
Because in broadcasting, as you know, classical music is the hardest format to work in. You have all those European names, you got to get them right. Yeah. Because if you don't, the telephone will start ringing and people say...
Because you mispronounced such a name.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then in somewhere in there, as you grew up, you made a journey. You left Big D and you came to L.A.
Yeah.
Low Alabama.
That's what yeah. No, I had run the gamut in Dallas.
Yes.
Best percussionist, I don't want to say best percussionist, percussionist in the best band that was the top in the city. But if you don't have a vision to get past the top, you haven't got to the top of nothing but a half pint of a jar. That's right. When there's a gallon to go and conquer. So I left, came out here, and forthwith got with some more relatives. We get up at 7:30, going to work. You need to get up and go to work too. I was like, oh, I left that.
Yes, you left that, yes.
But I took that and went ahead and started looking for work. And I found something with a group at one of the local clubs. They took me in, said, okay, you don't have to live over down to that. You can stay with us so you can play with freedom. Next thing I know, I'm in the mix. Yeah. Make it to Hollywood. I'm in Hollywood. Got with a band. Said, let's go to Canada. I'm like, let's go. What tie did I have? None. Took off and went to Canada. Wow. And that was really the start. Yeah.
But that acting flame was still in you. 1992, you had a movie called The Dark Harvest.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that, please?
That, I think, back in the day, Dramalog was
okay.
the publication.
Okay.
I'm perusing, looking for something, and auditions in there. Can you play a monster? I need to see you and hear you. It's just acting. I go in there. I went in. He wanted all the whole 9. I went in and gave it to him and said, "You got the part." So I got into it and got deep into it. Next thing you know, I was assistant director.
All right.
I was like, okay, this is cool. We shot a lot of stuff out in the desert. It was a vampire-ish werewolf type movie. B stuff, but the cameras, the lights, the people, the fun, the experience. So that was cool. Actually, I just found the guy that did it. James Nicholson found me on Facebook.
Really?
So we kind of reconnected on that.
All right.
And that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he on cast with you?
He was the director. He was the guy that cast me.
Okay.
And when I went in, and I haven't done too many auditions. It's like, if you want me, and I'm not gonna sit there with Denzel and Samuel, knowing you're gonna get them in it. Yes. But I have my SAG card. I can actually do that now.
Yes.
And because they always say it's not who they are, it's what the director wants.
Exactly.
And if he wants, me, he'll take me and say, okay, we'll get y'all on the next one.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty cool.
You mentioned auditions. In this show, we always talk to the actors about their feelings about auditions. What are your feelings, sir?
Well, when I went into that thing, I didn't really know what to expect. because like I said, I just been not handed stuff, but just here's the part, or here's the script, and this, that, and the other. But he called me in the audition. You're sitting out there, and you hear people screaming in there, and you're like, okay, what am I gonna do different than what they did? You know, yeah, you always want the part, and you always want to impress, but you know, then you also want to be true to just what yourself. You're not gonna go in there and be fake.
Nope.
So I went in, became a monster, got the part. So I hadn't been auditioning pretty much for too much of anything, but I know guys I know people that they're scared of it. The fear is they don't want to be rejected, I guess.
Right.
They don't want to be rejected because they think they're the top of their game, and they don't want to be rejected.
Right.
Men and women. But just go in, do what you do, and let God handle it.
Amen.
As they say, and I love this saying, if the part, the role, the gig is for you, it's for you, and nobody else will get it. But if you go in worrying about it, you word yourself right out the picture. That's my little philosophy.
That's good philosophy.
2%.
Yes.
2%.
Because you have to have ego to really be in this business, any business,
Oh,
show
yeah.
business, anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, and I will say to you in front of all these cameras, as long as I've known you, and it's been a long time, I've never seen you get the big head about you. Your personality is right across the line, man.
And I thank God for that.
Yeah.
I come from Oak Cliff. You'd probably get your head slapped back there. So I'm like, okay, and somebody gonna slap me if I start doing anything. Let me just keep it cool, you know.
Very spontaneous. And of course, that smile. You got some good teeth, brother. You let everybody see it.
Oh man, no, I'm getting it back. What I'm telling my children and grandkids, I have a bunch of those. Don't eat a lot of sweets. Don't eat a lot of donuts. Don't drink a lot of soda water, because my grandparents and aunt and uncle, back in the day, before they went to bed, they dropped their teeth off in a glass. And that was the way it was. And I'm like, wow, okay, ain't gonna happen to me. And as soon as I get up, like 20. As a cavity.
Yeah.
I think I went on tour with a dadgum cavity in the front of my face. I think I got pictures of that. It's like, wow, really? But it was the smile is there, no matter whose teeth they are. And he just lets me smile just naturally big and wide as I want to.
Yeah.
But as they say, my eyes and that smile hopefully shows you the inside of me also.
Yes, it always does.
Yes. you can't fake a good smile.
No, you can't.
When I see people smiling.
Oh, yeah, the fake smiles, yeah.
Dang, just let it go.
Yeah, just let yourself go. Yeah, there's that smile. The camera to get a shot of it. There's those that smile. But while you were doing other things in your life, you were doing acting, you were doing music. In 2009, you had a movie called Black Dynamite.
Yeah. That. Well, I'll go back a little before that.
Okay.
Some friends of mine was in town. They were playing music to a play. And got invited to come down. The play was called A Good Man Is Hard to Find, back in I think 91-ish.
Okay.
And I went down to see them, knew the cats in the band after things, shaking, hanging, hugging, and all that, cracking jokes and cracking them up. Next thing I know, Vic, they want to take you out on the road, play percussion in the band. I'm like, get out of here. So I became the percussionist for the band that played for the play. Little did I know it was going to evolve into something else. So after every gig, I'm running around cracking jokes. We were here at the Wilshire Ebell, cracking the band up, just cracking people up. Next thing I know, David Payton, the late David Payton, came and dropped the script in my lap.
Ouch.
I heard you do Richard Pryor. You doing Sweet Willie in the play on the matinee Sunday. Wow. So that's how I got and that's what I said. I didn't audition for it. He just dropped the script in my lap. Sweet Willie was a mudbone-ish, crazy, goofy type character in the men scene that was along with the regular characters. So I'd play music in the beginning of the play, and then the lights go down for intermission, and they come back up, and then I'd sneak off out of the pit and go and get dressed in Sweet Willie outfit and go do my thing. Yeah.
Just that easy.
It was great. It was a great experience.
And also gave you something to do. You keeps you sharp. It's only because we get a lot of people in LA, as you know. I call them, they come here with illusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
They want to be a star.
Yeah.
A star. And I tell folks sometimes, wait a minute, a star is rat spelled backwards. You might have to stop and think about it sometimes. You sure you want to do that?
Yeah. No, you just do what you do, and that's why I had to stop my relatives. How come you ain't made it yet? And that's some man-made anticipation of when you're supposed to. I said, when God wants me to make it.
Amen.
I've made it already. If I died right now, sitting in this interview, I've got this. And you go get 5 or 6 other people. What do they have? They don't have that. Well, at least I have that. So I made it to that, and I'm happy. I don't need Prince's money or Microsoft because they didn't know what to do with it.
Yes.
So, and then there's other people that's got money on the bottom they haven't even touched. I don't want to live like that.
No, that's not living. That's existing.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you did that movie, Black Dynamite, what was that about?
Black Dynamite was the Michael John White's
Okay.
spoof of Rudy Ray Moore.
Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite.
Dolomite. Now, when I came to L.A., as you'll hear later, I was with this same band that picked me up. I lived with them. They got cast to do the music to Dolomite, Petey Wheatstraw, and Human Tornado.
All right.
They were in the band. We did the Total Experience clubs. We did the Sexy Heights, all of the little clubs. That was the club scenes that the movie was shot in. And that was Rudy Ray Moore's Dolomite movies. So fast forward 30 years later, I'm playing in Santa Monica, and in walks Michael John White. Now, I already knew him from Spawn, the movie Spawn, where he was a superhero. And I saw him walk in the door, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh, Michael John just walked in. What can I do to catch his eye for whatever reason?
Yes.
And I normally introduce the band in a character, either Bill Cosby or Richard Pryor. And as I was introducing the people, took the break, he came up and said, man, I like that. I'm doing this movie called Black Dynamite. I want you to play Richard in it. Wow. But, as you just said, this is Hollywood. I believed that about as much until he walked out the door. Waited 3 months for that phone call.
Yes.
And then, you know, I was like, call him as another person. John Singleton did the same thing. People want you, but from my experience, wait until the itinerary is printed up, wait until the check is in the mail, in your hand, wait until the plane ticket is in your hand.
Right.
Then get excited. Then go crazy nuts that you got the part and you got whatever. He called and said, man, I'm so sorry I hadn't been able to get with you. I've been in Canada shooting Superman 4 or whatever that Superman movie was. I said, okay, I'll give you that. He said, come on down Wednesday, meet the producers, which happen to be the producers of Wicked, the stage play at the Pantages. I went down and met them, and it was on. But it was funny, when I went to meet him, I wore a Richard Pryor shirt, and I think I had my Richard Pryor wig on, and I walked in character and just put them to their knees. And I kept saying, I'm going to do this for you, but I'm not going to do no cussing. If that's what you expect, then you got the wrong Richard Pryor. And he pat me on the back and said, dude, don't even worry about that. You got the part. And that's how I ended up doing Black Dynamite. Went to Sundance Film Festival to watch it. Yep, that was a real experience. That was you talk about experiences in life. You know, what do you have going to Sundance in the snow in Utah, sitting next to Robert Townsend, in between Robert Townsend and John Sally. I'm like, Robert Townsend was there, I think, screening his Richard Pryor movie that's out on Showtime. Right. John Sally was in Black Dynamite and some of the other casts. So I'm sitting there with them. You can't beat that experience.
You hang out with some good folks.
That was some good people. Yeah.
Rudy Ray Moore is another good folk. I'm so sorry that the Lord had to take him.
Yeah.
I've had many experiences with him. The man was warm and genuine. You really, really miss him. But you would sit down and see how he put together his characters, all in his mind. Came straight from his mind.
Yeah. That's what those old guys did. I mean, they had that vaudeville experience.
Yes.
Him, Red Fox, and all. They could do that stuff. But you know, doing those movies with him. I mean, I was on the soundtracks. We were in the band playing them. I even moved to a non-speak. No, it was a one-sentence speaking role in, I believe it was Human Tornado.
Okay.
You know, they had the, little Johnny out there doing dope, and then they'd go to this place where they were making up the stuff, and I was one of the guys that was making up the PCP because that was the hot drug of the day.
Yes.
And the person came to me, how much you got there? I said, 5 barrels. That was my big line of dope, 5 barrels, and then moved on. But I got to say that and that.
Yeah.
But it was just funny and ironic. What he wanted me to do in Black Dynamite was what Jimmy Lynch was doing to Rudy Ray Moore in his movie.
Okay.
The sidekick, the side man, the front man, the hype man to Rudy Ray. That's what Jimmy Lynch was. And when asked me to do that. Well, originally asked me to play percussion in it, and then he said, you know, I got a better thing. I want you to do the Jimmy Lynch part type thing. So, you know, play Richard. So, and it wasn't really even playing Richard. It was just the voice of what I was doing for that 70s type-ish sound for the MC for this movie that was doing the band in it. So it worked. It worked.
It worked, yeah. God, you hang out with some good folks. You really do.
I thank God he allowed me to do that.
Amen. Have you done stage work?
Yes. Yeah. Well, The Good Man Is Hard to Find play thing,
Okay.
the high school stuff, and that The Good Man Hard to Find was the first theatrical stage stuff that I did that was touring, that was traveling, and I think that's pretty much most of the stage I've done.
Okay.
Other than, like I said, the plays back at home and 500 Black Inside and the Pearly Victorious and the 500 Bales of Cotton thing. Those were pretty much letting me taste that stage, project the character, remember the line, interact with other people. I still actually talk to the girls and friends that were Christmas Past and Christmas Future in the Scrooge play from my high school, from senior year. We still chit-chat, and one is actually still doing plays in Dallas, and one of the other ones is a professor at a major university. She took the acting, had fun with it, and went on and got a degree, and she's a professor.
Like we talked about audition earlier, I always ask actors, you know, to do that stage work, because it's not no take one, take two. You're on spot right there.
Right there.
You gotta know those lines. You gotta know how to audition.
You gotta know it, and you gotta know how to ad lib if you forget it.
That's what it is.
You know, if you forget your line, you know, keep you know what I'm saying, and then bring it back to whatever you need it to be. That's when you get it. But when you fresh out the box and you forget it, and you got that deer in the headlight, what am I supposed to say? It's over.
Yeah.
Your career, I won't say your career's over, but that moment is over.
Right. How do you encourage young actors to go get some experience by getting some education, formal education, be it college, schools, and things of that nature?
Yeah, well, they have all of those. I actually went to Marla Gibbs's acting theater in Leimert Park years ago, just to get a taste of. You should not ever be too old to learn something from somebody.
Thank you.
I don't care who you are. Richard Lawson has a school. A few other people have schools. Go to those places. If you really want to just jump into the ocean, start doing stand-up or start going to these places and just doing stuff. That'll prepare you for auditions for when you do get a chance to get your SAG card and go somewhere. So, but always kind of be prepared, you know, for whatever it is out there acting-wise. But don't sit at home and look at TV and say, okay, I can do that, and go out and think you can do that. It's time. My son trying to do comedy, and he say some stuff, and I turn. It's all about the timing. You blew the joke. I already, you know. So now it's like I can't stop him. His timing is impeccable.
Fast forward 2012, you did the movie $40 Million.
Yeah, answered another audition. As we're saying about auditions, I keep, you know, things that pop up. Answered another audition down in Huntington Beach. Went down, table full of people. Read my sides, and was funny enough to pull it off. 40 million. If you look on your emails and your junk side, everybody has them. You've just won $40 million, but we need your social security number and your address and your home address and your first child and some of your blood before we can give it to you. That's on everybody's back, and it's from Nigeria. It's always from Nigeria. So that's what this lady wrote a movie about. But it was a funny comedy movie that the lady in the movie had gotten 40 million, and I was one of the guys that was supposed to try to take it from her. And that was my role, and it was a lead role, and you know, lines in the whole nine, and it was a short, but it was really nice.
Gotcha. Is there a special role that you've always wanted to do but never had a chance to do?
Yeah, I want to do some action stuff, but throwing this body around, that ain't gonna happen. And can we bring the gurney and stretch in? He's down for the count. No, not really. Just. I'm going to get the role, trust me, it's coming, but I'm going to get that role that we're talking about in a little while.
Okay. Tell me, what is the connection of your acting with your musical career?
I always used to say, that's what I want to do, acting or music. And one is going to open the door, and I'm going to bring the other one in. Or the other one's going to open the door, and I'm going to bring the other one in. So if I'm doing music, and this has happened, that I've done music, and I looked up and I'm doing acting. Or if I'm done acting, I look up and I've talked my way into, okay, well, like 40 million.
Yeah.
2 of my songs is on the soundtrack.
Okay.
Because I talked my way into past that, like the other movie, Dark Harvest. I talked my way from being an actor on it to being an assistant director on it. So that was another movie like in the 80s I did too. Shut Up and Let Me Do It, Shut Up and Let Me Do Your Hair. It was way before its time of Beauty Shop and Barbershop. It was funny as heck. It also starred A.J. Sanders from Different World. I brought her in. These are people that I knew, friends of mine. Said, hey, I got a girl. She came in, auditioned, bam, she was in it. I was assistant producer, director on that, and did the soundtrack. Because the guy that was doing the soundtrack was tripping and didn't want money, and just was, the lady was like, hey, she can't take it. I'm like, I do music too. Next thing I know, the script was, the music was dropped in my lap. So I'm acting, running from the studio to go do my part, and then back to the studio to finish up songs from the movie. So that was a very good experience. It was another B movie, but it was funny. It was, like I said, it was exactly, not exactly like, but it could have had the same potential Beauty Shop and Barbershop had. Because it was one of those movies. It was set in a beauty shop,
Right.
and the owners was laundering money.
Right.
And that was the whole funny, that was basically the premise of it.
Well, you know, we only go to the beauty shop, the barber shop, and church.
There's only 3 spots.
Let me go to. Victor, as a musician, you have earned the title of percussionist to the stars. Tell us how you earned that title and what did you have to do?
Well, thank God for one,
Amen.
that he sends you the stars to play with. And thank the devil for sending you those that are not stars that mess you up so you can appreciate the stars that God sent you. So from finishing with the Canada thing, coming back, that's when it started happening. I equated it to, as a percussionist coming from Dallas, not knowing anything about LA or anybody, I'm in a line of conga players that's 1,500, 2,000 deep. I'm at the back of the line. So how do I get to the front? That's my goal. So I'm just start playing with, but it wasn't just playing with people, it was also friends. Hey Vic, come play with us. Who you with? Billy Preston. Wow. Hey Vic, I got a gig for you, man. Come on, who? Buddy Miles. So names just start coming up, and these were real important big names in my life. So this is what laid the foundation of who I played with through my life, and gave me the quality of who to play with and who to say, I'm gonna pass on this one. Because you don't, if you got a rep, you don't want it drenched in playing with somebody that's, everybody's gonna look, I don't want to deal with him because he played with such and such, and is he really that good? So I'm like, keep my status, and God kept sending me people. I mean, from the Buddy Miles and the Billy Preston early days to now, he keeps sending me good people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's the latest person you prayed with?
The last one, what is it? Victor Orlando? Oh no. I stopped banging on the stern wheels.
Yes.
I was coming, so that's the last person I played with. But the latest person, I can't see. Oh, I'm playing with loose ends now.
Okay.
Jane Eugene and Hanging on a String now, those people. I'm playing with them. We just did a gig a few weeks ago. So that's my latest of the percussionists to the stars people. And these are people with hits and names. But I play with a lot of local people and then a lot of other people.
Okay. There's something about percussion. When you play it, people dance to the music, they get involved with it. What does it feel like banging on that event?
It's spiritual.
Yes.
God gave us a tree for us to even get a drum from. And believe it or not, everybody on the planet, on the face of this earth, are percussionists. Everybody. Why? They have a beat. Think about it. Your heart beats.
Yes.
Your pulse beats. So you got 2 beats already growing in you before you even go. You just have to uncover it and figure out what you're going to do with it. I can sit, if you put a stethoscope to my heart and then hooked it up to an amplifier, doo-doom, 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 doo-doom. Now I'm playing to a beat, which is already on the inside of me. But the only way I could have played to it is to feel what was on the inside of me.
Wow.
You've never seen a robot play percussion.
No.
That's why the machines are going to go down one day. Yeah, the Terminators are going to go down. The drum machines that took my place. In the 80s, I'm getting calls every week, every day, every month. 2015, 2016, I'm looking at the phone. You gonna call me? Ain't nothing. Nobody's calling. Oh, no, man. You know, we got this RBM P3 sitting. You know, dang, I lost that job. Lost that job. I'm losing jobs. So that's why I had to form my own band. So I can't put me out of my own band.
True. Very true.
So yeah, it is spiritual and makes people, because we have that beat, whatever I'm playing, whatever other percussionists are playing, somebody is feeling that. Somebody is feeling it. And my blessing is when they come back and say, hey, I had a bad day and things was messing with me. Seeing you play, hearing you play, brightened me, touched me, made me feel better. I'm like, wow, thank you, God. But thank you so much.
Because you put so much energy into this.
So much.
The sweat be rolling.
Rolling. What did I do? I did a gig, at the Zen. I did a gig 2 weeks ago. This has probably never happened. I sweated out of my eyes.
Wow.
I was taking tissue, and it appeared to be tears, but I was sweating out of my eyes. Basically, probably sweating the cold out too. But I was sweating out of my. I had to top last week's show, and we got into it, and I got into it, and I'm playing. I'm like getting the tissue and trying to get it out of my eyes, and I'm playing. And I'm having to think while I'm playing. I'm like, you sweating out your eyes. This is not coming off your forehead, dropping into your eyes. It's just coming from your eyes down. So I'm like, well, I leave it on the stage. Sick or not. Back home, I used to play so sick I would have pneumonia. I'd be playing and singing and playing and saying, and playing, and band take a solo. Back to playing. I did not know how to stop. Did not know how to stay at home when I was sick. Just play through it. And that's the way I've always been.
We have the Leimert Park section of LA. You and I talked about that. Tell our viewers about that, please, because those guys be
Leimert Park,
way at night.
Yeah, Leimert Park and Griffith Park.
Yes.
Those places, man, Redondo Beach. Guys that are passionate about just beating on something gather. That's just like the Swallows in Capistrano. They gather. And they sit there and they boom, 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 boom. 7 hours later, boom, 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 boom. 2 days later, boom, boom. Dude, you want to change the rhythm? So that's what they did, because that's what they felt.
That's what they felt.
And that's probably far as they want to go, far as they're gonna get to go. But they're doing something. If they died, they made it. They would have made it right there. They didn't look for no money. They didn't look for whatever. They made it. So yeah, those guys are special.
Because, you know, at one time in history, drums were used as a means of communication.
Yeah. Well,
between Indian tribes and other people, African tribes.
The drum has been here before anything else.
Yes.
A piano is a drum with 88 heads on it.
Really?
People don't know that. A piano is a percussion instrument. A percussion instrument is anything you can bang on.
Okay.
Now, a flute, you're not banging on it.
No.
But a piano, you gotta, and you get tones. So it's just 88 congas sitting in front of you. So you, it's just like playing, but it's just percussion. But I haven't mastered the piano. I've stuck with less amount of keys to beat on.
Gotcha. But you did start with drums first before you get to the congas.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yes. I was a drummer first. A drummer, because like I said, my aunt bought me the drums.
Right.
I made the mistake of telling my upper class snooty parents I didn't want to go to the Hamptons with them for the summer. Could you possibly buy me a drum set and leave me behind? He said, you ain't getting no drum set and you ain't going to the Hamptons. Like, dang. My aunt, oh, baby, I get you a drum set on time. If you ain't from the South, you don't know what on time is. Went straight to the drum store. Got me a red drum set on time.
Right.
Fine. Gone. I'm gonna play drums. Sister bought me some drums.
You have a good reputation in the industry. Can you use that reputation as an actor and a drummer and a conga player together?
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, how each one of them ties into.
Yes.
I can go somewhere and meet actors, say I'm a percussion player from the Gap Band.
Okay. Okay.
They opened up, they dropped their defenses, we're cool. I can go somewhere and meet some other people and say, hey, I'm friends of these actors. Drops the defense and let them, and let them know I'm cool, basically. Yeah, either one of those interact when I meet different people.
Gotcha. Who are some of your musical mentors?
Ooh. It started out back in the day, drumming wise is Art Blakely and Jazz Messengers and Idris Muhammad and all those guys. Then it turned into percussion. Santana, Pete Escovedo, Tito Puente, Sheila. But the whole percussion thing from the drum thing switched over when there was only one drummer in the jazz band. For jazz season, because there was marching band season, jazz season, and symphonic season. Okay. One set of drums for one, and I wanted to play. They said, "No, we don't have. I already got a field. There's some congas over there if you want to play them. I'm gonna be in this band." So I started playing one way or the other.
Yes.
And then Woodstock came out. Woodstock, and I saw congas, and they were up front, and they were vital, and a influence and a part of that music just as much as a drum, bass, guitar, and a vocalist.
Gotcha.
They were right there. And from that point, I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's why I got this Latin blood flowing in me. Victor Orlando. Where you get a name like that from in Dallas, Texas. Well, my dad was
There's
from
another
Puerto
Victor
Rico.
Orlando. You know him.
Who's
basketball player there's a basketball player by the name of
Victor Orlando. That I may have known, I may not. There's about now. I'm looking on the internet and they just popping up and cropping up everywhere.
Yeah.
So I got to go get that little R next to mine because I started making some money, y'all. Then you're gonna go get my checks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you see 60 Minutes last week?
No.
They did a piece on a little guy he's an Asian. He's 12 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and this kid can sit down at the piano. They brought him to the Newport Jazz Festival. He's marvelous. 12 years old.
Yeah.
And he's got like a sense that he can just feel the music and he can do anything he wants with the piano. I went, wow.
I met a guy at the NAMM show last year, a kid, maybe 10 to 12, playing blues guitar like B.B. King on the reel. Wow. He ended up being featured with Doug Winbush from Living Color and some guys from Parliament Funkadelic. They had a jam session at the booth, and they started playing this little kid. He's been on one of the TV shows. Forget his name, but nice little kid. Dad was very nice, but it's like, how do you grasp that much blues in your little bitty body?
Right.
Excuse me, but you didn't pick up a video game. That's probably one of them.
That's probably why.
And you studied something past that. So yeah, he was it. I wish a lot of good kids are coming through Facebook like that when you're talking about it.
Because this is a great opportunity for young men and women who are on the street in gangs. Pick up a guitar, pick up a conga drum, pick up some instrument, get on a stage, do something positive. It'll change your whole life.
Yeah. But they need that person right before them to push in that direction.
Yes.
If they don't, they got the gangs pushing them in that direction.
Right. Like your mother and father pushing you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then if you want to do it, and you get the other side not pushing you, then you take your own self-determination to push yourself. And that's how God will help you. Oh, okay, you didn't need them. Yeah, I see you trying to, okay, I'm going to put you in front of somebody. I'm going to put you in a situation where it'll benefit you. The little drummers on the street, the little kids on the street, go up on Hollywood Boulevard, there's a man and his son sitting down there, 10 plastic cup, canning themselves to death. I had a few of them on video on Facebook. They're just flipping sticks and doing. I'm looking at this little 8-year-old flipping sticks. I'm like, I can't even flip a stick. He's got it down.
Yes. He just has to get a good publicist, the right person to see him, pick him up, and his career goes on.
And it has happened. That boy. Well, there's different people. Tyrese, I think it was.
Yes, Tyrese.
Yeah, that's another good example of how he could have went somewhere else, but look what happened. Yeah. And Corey Glover. Was doing the Coca-Cola commercials on the bus, and now he's the lead singer for Living Color. So Brandy, did Kentucky Fried Chicken commercials. Now she's Brandy.
Yes.
So there's examples of not being a kid going in another direction.
Got you.
Yeah.
You've played with quite a few people. Billy Preston.
Billy.
The Gap Band.
Yeah.
I call them the Band. They do well. Tupac.
Yeah.
Tupac.
I didn't play with him. I did his album.
Okay.
It was called A Rose Grows in the Concrete. and it featured a lot of people: Will Smith, Ice Cube, Q-Tip. A lot of names is just weird. Q-Tip, Ice Cube. I thought those were drinks and stuff you put in your ear. But, you know, hey, can you give me a Q-Tip? Yeah, yeah. No, the rapper. Oh, my bad, my man. I'm getting new to this game. Yeah, and those I got called.
Yes.
You know, percussions on there. Then the fickle hand of ignorance, or whatever you want to call it, devilment, didn't put my name on the album. That's that lacks in the business. That's that mental lacks in the building.
There's no way you can go back and add it.
No, oh, we'll put it on the next shipment. You're not having a next shipment. I'm not even buying it. What do you think? I woke up on a boat yesterday. You made your printed copies, and that's it. You forgot and didn't put me on there. And I know, because I play it, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. Oh, I'm on that one too. Okay, fine. I'll take that to my grave. I did it, and whether people won't believe it or not, I did it.
Okay.
And leave it at that.
Okay. You're watching The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Our very special guest today, Mr. Victor Orlando. Victor, some other persons that you played with were Bobby Womack.
Yeah.
Tell us about the last time you saw Bobby Womack.
Whoa. Well, the last show I did, we were out on tour. Well, how I got it, this business is seriously up and down.
Yes.
I can have all of those things I've had, and then you can look up one day and the phone ain't ringing, rent still due. You go to apply for a job and like, well, what's your last job? Oh, snap, you want a resume, huh? You want me to write something down? Well, here, I was this. Said, no, we want a resume and we want you to email it to us and blah, blah, blah. Say, so I didn't have a job thing. I don't even think I owned a white shirt.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to have a white shirt to get a real job. So I'm laying in bed praying and suffering. The phone rings. Hello. Hey, this is such and such. We want you to want to talk to you about going out on the road with Bobby Womack. Sit straight up in the bed like a meerkat.
Wow.
Wow. And got that, went down, did the tour, and things ended. You know, God gives you a length of time that you're supposed to do something with somebody or with a situation. He knows when that ends and it's time to move on.
Yes.
Mine, it ended. It's time to move on. Add that to my etch that end of your career and move on to the next set of people. But I went to the Saban to check out the last show, see who replaced me, and and why. And he was there, and he was at the Saban. He was sounding good. The band sounded good, and the show was the same as when I left it. You know, like right now, if you went to see a Gap Band show, nothing would have changed. Pretty much all the songs would have been the same. Well, the Gap Band is not happening anymore right now because Charlie's Charlie and Robert's dead and Ronnie's trying to do something different. But the Gap Band is not happening. But when they did have their shows, it was like nothing was, not a note or lick was missed from when I was there.
Wow.
Go back and it was the show. It was the show, and you had to learn the show.
You said this gentleman's name several times. Two words I'd like to say to you. Richard Pryor.
Wow. Came to California, hung out at the Comedy Store. There he was. Got 2 pictures with him.
Yes.
Big afro, and he stand up there and say, cool. We didn't do any assimilation of, because I was doing more Bill than him, but I still was doing him, but I wasn't doing him as outwardly. Back home, the parents used to come home, wake me and my brother up, fix him up. 7-Up and whatever that white stuff is, Scotch. Scotch was the dark one. Scotch and Coke and 7-Up, whatever the light one. Fix them 2 drinks. Take them in there. Do Richard. Because they had the albums, you know, and I didn't cuss, so I had to do the funny parts of it. So that's how I started doing Richard.
Can you do a little Richard for us?
No, oh, wait, here he comes. See, you see, it was back in 1969, believe it was. And my parents used to say, boy, I do a little Richard. I come in the bedroom, I do a little Richard, they laugh. You know, it's funny. I go in there and say, man, all I want to do was sleep. I got to go to school in the morning. My brother was laughing. So I just kept that, I just kept those tonations of him.
It's like he's here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I scared one of his wives. Flynn Belen Pryor was one of his 7 wives.
Yeah.
We were actually
7 wives.
we were actually on a job, on a regular job. And she was out. Oh wow, you're Flynn Pryor, Richard's ex-wife. Well, let me tell you something, Flynn. She said, no, stop, don't do that. It's scary. Like, wow, am I that good?
Yes.
And then I trust me, Ron, since maybe 15 to 18 to now, any street USA, walk down it. If I'm walking this way and somebody's walking that way, I see a head go. I know exactly what you just thought.
Yeah, Richard Pryor.
Richard. And then if I see them and they do it really like, baby, and I turn, no, it ain't Richard, it's me. My name is Victor Orlando, so stop thinking you saw a ghost. And then they lose it.
Yeah.
They lose it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've been doing Richard for like forever.
God.
I'm getting ready to parlay it into something.
All right, come on, tell us about it.
Well, no, I've been doing it. I don't curse.
Right.
I take I say I don't have anything against his cursing. I don't. That's what he did to make him famous.
Right.
To me, it was colorful words that colored the picture that he was trying to say. To other people, they were curse words. So you take it however you want to take it. I took it, they're just some colorful words. But I'm not going to use them, but they're colorful words. Everybody else, oh, he just cussing. I don't like his cussing. Okay, well, you don't like the cussing. I took them as colorful words. Well, I know how to mesh both of them. I don't like the cussing, and I'm going to take it and make it colorful words, make them work for me. So that's how I got the Michael Jai White thing when I introduced the band. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a bass player. I just got that boy out of jail. The money he making tonight, he gonna give me so he can go back, see? But I just got him tonight. Keyboard player was homeless. Boy, I could play keyboard, but he was homeless. I hired him. That's why he up in there. Give him a nice round of applause. Name is Johnny. Come on, Johnny. So I do that. I've been doing that in between sets. That's how we talking about how does music go with the acting and acting and comedy go with the music. You know, I used to do the Del Monte green beans and the jello pudding and introduce the band that way. Can't do that now. But anyhow, yeah, can't do that now. No, that wouldn't be too cool to do right about now. Hold off on the jello pudding jokes. Yeah, I'm getting
God touched you with that one. That's reincarnation to me.
Yeah, and because I'm doing it without the stuff, God is making it really be what it is, what it's supposed to be and should be and could be and need to be. Rich Little, one of the greats, did it himself with the people he did. Anybody, Frank Gorshin, the Riddler and Batman back in the day, they did voices. They made their voices be, but it's great when you can perfect the voice. What's weird, I never studied how to do that. I never studied how to be Richard. How you go in and you say, I just did it.
Yes.
And then, but I've seen all the movies, I've heard all the records. So I can, sometime I walk out on stage and just, and I start hearing that, I'm like, okay, got one. Got two, then I start hearing the claps. So that lets me know, God is saying, keep on, dude, I'm signaturing what you're hearing, I got something big for you. But that's what I took in my head. And then one day, as the writer-producer part, I'm sitting up, oh man, that would be funny. And I wrote this synopsis. Then I wrote a version of a script. And then I wrote a script. Oh, writing a script is hard.
Yeah.
That's like taking 20 octopuses and making it one head and all the tentacles going to that one head and connecting to that one head.
Nice description.
And because you got to make this person say something relevant to this person over here that's going to work, or she's going to be doing like I do when I sit up and watch TV. I watch TV for two things, entertainment and for the writing.
Right.
And I'm like, and how I know I'm cool on a situation, I can say the line before they do. If something happened, I'm saying, he's going to say, I could have wrote this right here. So that lets me know my head, as they just saying, is great minds think alike type thing. So I'm doing a thing in conjunction and similar to Richard called Switched, and I will be playing this character that once you see it, that's all you're gonna say. When I did Black Dynamite, it wasn't announced or screened as Richard Pryor.
Right.
It, for copyright and legal reasons, it was just put up the MC to this movie. But when you sit at home and you get phone calls from different people across the country saying, man, I just saw this movie. This dude that looked just like Richard Pryor. Was that you? Ding!
Yeah.
And you just keep on with your plan because what I'm going to do is going to work.
If a movie is made, who's going to play Richard Pryor?
I can only think of one other person that's not here today. He's gone. While he's up there, he left the duties to me to make sure that the name will last forever. I'm actually trying to let the little kids, the younger comedians and the other kids know, this cat was funny without having to curse.
Right.
You know, he did do Sesame Street.
Yes, he did.
So, you know, it's not the words per se as the actions, and what if I can sit and make a baby laugh just by doing stuff, you know. And look at that Negro's Crazy album. On the back of it, it's 24 faces on there, and they all doing something different.
Wow.
And I don't sit and take the album. Okay, I'm gonna do this face. I just stand in the mirror. And you know what's the biggest thing and the weirdest thing? I get out the shower and I go look in the mirror. You don't look like Richard Pryor. What is everybody saying that? Yes, you do. Just go on out there and make that money, boy. And then they come. I said, okay. I see what they're saying now.
Yes.
You know, and I appreciate it, and I hold it special and dear.
I only met him once in my life. Was the day he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We had to figure out a way to get him up on the stage. What we decided to do was take a director's chair, put his name across the back of it, put him up on the chair, take him out of the limo, put him up on the chair, and he could receive all his guests. Whoopi Goldberg, a whole lot of people. And after the event was over, since I got the chair, I took the chair. I had an idea, bring the chair back to him. We went to his house. I knocked on the door. He's in his bedroom. In his bed, there's the gun and everything. Like, that's Richard Pryor. And I said, Richard, I figured you want to have this chair. It's a gift to you. He said, you know, I said, people tell me I look like you. He said, you want an ugly son.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, I found his star on Hollywood. Yeah. It's on that corner right next to that thing. Right. I'm walking and I saw, because I got some pictures on Facebook. I jumped down there, laid down there, and took pictures with it and pointed at it in the whole nine, because I didn't know exactly where it was.
Yeah. Victor, we've just got a few more minutes. You have won a couple of awards. LaRon, can you go ahead and cue up that tape and play? This is what in 2013 when you got an award.
Yeah.
A Lifetime Achievement.
Lifetime Achievement. Yes. I was doing a show somewhere, and the guy saw me, and he's the owner of that whole Lifetime Achievement Award and Fame Award thing, and he came up and said, I'm not even taking this to the committee. I'm giving you a lifetime. I was like, wow. And once again, I'm like, yeah, all right, sure. And then when we started getting into it, it was real. And the list of the names of people that won before me, wow. And I'm like, I'm in there with them cats? Yeah. Cool.
Let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look at it.
Grammy and NAACP nominated artist, music and movie producer, actor, comedian, the percussionist to the stars, Victor Orlando. The journey began in Dallas, Texas, over 4 decades ago. Victor started playing on the bottom of his school desk like bongos in middle school. That did not sit well with the nuns at St. Peter's Academy, but by then, Victor was already turning the beat around. In high school, Victor played drums in the marching and concert bands. There were too many drummers in the jazz band, and he was told if he wanted to play, the only thing left were a pair of congas. Once Victor got behind those conga drums, something magical happened, and the rest is history. Victor would later drop out of school to tour with Johnny Taylor, The Moments, and others. Knowing he needed to finish school, he returned and graduated. Everyone was very happy he did, but Victor knew from touring that his college was going to be the stage. After performing in a few local bands, he soon began shaping what was to be Victor Orlando, percussionist extraordinaire. He was performing with his high school classmates, then an unknown duo by the name of Yarbrough and Peoples. Later, Victor moved to Los Angeles and started on the local scene. He went on to tour Canada and the States with local acts. Upon returning to LA, word got out that there was a new percussionist in town. A friend asked Victor to play in the band he was in. The band leader was the legendary Buddy Miles. Word was spreading. The same friend invited him to record with Billy Preston. Victor then joined a group on the Motown label known as Ozone. They were the band that recorded and toured with Billy Preston, Smokey Robinson, Tina Marie, and others on the Motown label. But it wasn't until Victor got that phone call from his old Dallas classmate that would launch a bigger journey to becoming the percussionist to the stars. He was asked to go on a world tour with Yarbrough and Peoples, the opening act for the Gap Band. After a week on tour, Charlie Wilson asked Victor to play and eventually record with them. Victor was now playing with 3 acts on the same show. Word of Victor's stage performance and stylish attire was quickly spreading. Several other artists called upon Victor to bring his magic to their shows. Victor Orlando credits and thanks God for the talent he blessed him with. He also thanks his family for hanging in there with him and his friends for the love and support on this journey. His mission to give back that magic to inspire and heal others with his drums.
Hey, that was nice, man.
Whoa,
That was nice.
you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, you have a mission. How do you want to be remembered? That's one of my favorite questions.
Yeah, just as we saw when I walked in the door, the guy recognized me and remembered me from playing drums.
Yeah.
There's people walk up to me and always say, "What you doing? What you doing? I know you got to be doing something." Because I just can't sit by. I gotta play. I gotta play. The rest is gonna come, but I just gotta play. Yeah.
You thinking about writing a book, maybe?
We'll look into it. It's not gonna be a tell-all about a bunch of crazy madness, but it's like, hey, this is what God gave me. This is what I did with it. You can do the same.
Wow. Any advice you got for people who want to try to get in the acting business? Because it is a business.
Acting and music, I tell them all the same. You gotta listen. You gotta really be humble. You gotta take your big head. Big head ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Right.
You know, and get some training if you need it. It's 2 ways. You can either get training because you need it,
Right.
or God gave it to you and you just gotta let Him work it for you. If you don't have it, it's best to get training because you ain't gonna get too far because this business is cutthroat. You're not gonna get too far unless you have something to offer.
How do you describe yourself, please?
Whoa.
One of my baby
Really
words.
cool. Christian,
Yes.
Church of Christ, been Church of Christ member for over 50-something years. Father, grandfather.
Grandfather.
I have 5 kids,
All right.
5 grandkids,
All right.
and 2 great-grandkids.
Ugh.
So, yeah. And I'm only 26.
26.
26
Oh, okay.
this year. But no, just me trying to stay happy, trying to be happy, trying to play, trying to make somebody else happy, trying to give back. I go back to Dallas a couple of times to talk to the band.
Yes.
Say, hey, y'all in the same band I was in. Y'all in the same high school band. I came out of this band. There's only 2 people that came out of a 300-piece band. Well, 300 for that year, 300. For 4 years of 300, 1,200 people, only 2 people come out of that band to done something. Donald Patterson, bass player, the judge, and myself. We're the only 2 that came out of that band. Caven wasn't in the band, but he came from my high school. He was my classmate. So he came out and became Yarbrough Peoples. So they have a Grammy. I have a Grammy-nominated CD. They have an actual Grammy for Don't Stop the Music.
Look at those other guys. Look what they could have done had they paid attention to what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Because the opportunity is there.
It hurts me
Yes.
to go back and see we had that many people that was passionate when we were doing it. But I'm gonna go and work down at the car wash, and that's the way it ended. My daughter had 8 years of band at Sherman Oaks School from Rich Studied. She did flute, alto, tenor, and baritone. And this little knucklehead went and got a scholarship for chemistry in Boston University.
All right.
So I'm like, okay, well, that's cool too. But she loves the music.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, Victor, I want to thank you very much. You've taken a great, this has been I'm sorry we only had 1 hour. I wish we had more.
Yeah.
Because you got a whole lot more to say.
Yes, sir.
And that smile, my brother. God bless you. Keep that personality going.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very, very much for showing up today.
Thank you for having me. I
We'll
appreciate
get you
it.
back again,
No
for
kidding.
sure.
The Actor's Choice.
Actor's Choice, indeed. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay with us again. We'll meet again at another time. This is Ron Brewington. Say, take care.